That's cool.
All right. So 2:03, I think we can get started. It looks like a couple more people are jumping in. So how many people here currently work with an auto dealership? Throw a 1 in the chat if that's you. Looks like I saw a couple of hands go up as well. Cool. So I'm going to share my screen, but you should now see, let me get the right window here. Pulkit got this up this morning. So if you do a hard refresh in your agency dash and you go to load a new snapshot, you should now see that the auto dealership one is there. And if you click on more, like all the rest, there's a little overview video that from me. There's an example Facebook ad in here. And then there's the setup guide. And this one I had a really good time making. I don't make all the snapshots, but I got to make this one. And I had a blast because auto dealerships are great in the fact that you can go to the manufacturer and get tons of great material, right? So like incredible photos, videos, and stuff like that. So let me open up the snapshot here. And with this one, I did 2 things. So the normal sort of claim booking funnel and then a reactivation campaign funnel. And we'll talk about that one in a second. So the offer funnel looks like this. And so at my old agency, I actually saw this campaign, exact campaign, this worked in a real life scenario. So basically it was $1,000 off. I think they actually did like $1,200 off. And he pre-owned, and I don't know if it was Volkswagens or whatever it was. I just used VWs. So basically you want to get them to claim the offer. And so again, all this stuff I just pulled from Volkswagen's website. All the buttons are set to open up the claim form in the pop-up. And then when they make the claim, it takes them to the second page in the funnel, the booking page, where it says, you know, congratulations, you just claimed $1,000 off. In order to redeem it, let's get you to book a day and time for a showroom visit. And then this I love to do if your client is up for it, like a kicker offer. So we say, hey, book in the next hour or so, or whatever you want to make it, and receive something small, like a free set of all-weather floor mats. This particular all-weather floor mat did really well. It was something that the client didn't mind giving away at all, as long as it was from the manufacturer, I think. But people really ate it up. So that's just a little kicker offer if you can get your client to agree to it, and then the booking form, and then that just takes them to the third page, which is just a thank you page saying, you know, thanks, we got your request, we'll follow up to confirm the day and time. So that's pretty straightforward, but I think the page came out great. And like I said, you know, whatever the make or models that, you know, your client wants to push, you can just replace all this with stuff from the manufacturer's site. So the second campaign, which I haven't run or seen run in the wild, but based on, you know, different industries, I'm pretty confident this would work as well, is a database reactivation. So you could run ads right to this page and it's the same thing with just different wording, but what it really is these 2 campaigns. So let's say your client has a database full of people and they are able to segment them by people who expressed interest but didn't convert. So I just, you know, tire kickers, let's call them. So basically you would just feed them into this, and it's just a scarcity play. So it's like, hey, Chase, are you still looking for a new car? We've got 6 2019s that we need to move to make room for the 2020s. We're knocking this much off. If you're still interested, just shoot back yes, or whatever you want them to say. To me, this is an offer that makes a total sense, right? Because it's like, well, lots are only so big. New cars come out every year. It makes sense. They got to get rid of some models to make room for the new models. So I really like this. I think it will work well. And if you've run something similar, definitely let's hear from you about it. But it's just that text, an email that's basically the same thing. And then I put the link that you could send them to that landing page that I'll open up in a second, and then a voicemail. So I've seen this idea work really, really well in spaces like gyms where it's like, hey, I've got 10 free week passes on my desk here. Are you still interested? Shoot me a yes, and I'll save one for you, or I'll put your name on one. Same sort of idea. And then the other campaign is just if they aren't able to segment their database, the messaging is just a little bit different based on, you don't know when the last time they may have inquired, if it's a super old lead or something like that. And then again, so if I just go back and I'll open up this one. So the only difference is the wording. So, basically we've got something that's got to go, put a scarcity play on it. And then instead of getting them to claim, this is just going straight for the schedule, for 6 people to book a showroom visit, we'll put their names on it. So that's basically it. Those are the two ways to approach it. And if you guys have any questions about it, fire away. Let me turn off my screen share.
I have a question, but off topic, if that's
Sure.
okay. I heard on one of the last Q&As that you guys were coming out with pre-made website templates.
Mm-hmm.
Is there going to be a charge for that, or is that going to be included in?
No. So basically, I don't know if you've seen yet, but the funnel builder now has a new element for navigation. And
Yeah,
so
I've actually built one.
Great. So that was the first step of making the funnel builder into a website builder.
Right.
And now there's a couple of other new elements that are going to get dropped in. And once that rolls out, then we'll start releasing just like, these snapshots for websites. So, we could very easily turn this landing page into a nice templated website for an auto dealership with just a couple of extra elements and pages. So that's the idea, is that we'll go back through all those top industries and just make a template or two of something that looks pretty nice that would give you a good starting point.
Yeah, no, that's cool, because I know ClickFunnels did away with their $19 baby account this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
yeah, I don't follow them too closely, but no,
yeah.
As far as I know, it'll just be included. It'll just be a release that comes out, and you'll be able to use those templates.
I guess question
Okay, cool.
and pertain to that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I just haven't been poking into the community enough. That I might be missing, so I apologize in advance. What about saving an individual page? Like, say if you're gonna have this website build, I just want to save an individual page to be using. Right now, you have to save the whole funnel. Is that possible?
Yeah. So right now you can save an element, which was a new release that was not too long ago. So if you make a header, you can save it and then you can reuse it in a different page within that funnel. But yeah, we're going to keep going with that so that you'll be able to save templates that you can do more with. Yeah.
Yeah. I figured something where similar to the ClickFunnels thing where they literally can just drop in a whole page and then you just work backwards from it,
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of like just page templates in WordPress, right? So basically a website is typically a homepage template and a general inner page, and then maybe like a services page layout.
Yeah. Like Elementor drew in their builder. Elementor has like maybe 20 in their free plugin model. Do you know what I mean? It's just something to work backwards from.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's our goal. Our goal is to give you guys as much as we can as a sort of a head start, and just reduce the time that it takes to get clients onboarded and finding success. Yeah.
Aaron was just mentioning not being able to copy an individual page outside of to another funnel. You can do that. You don't have to copy.
Yeah, you can. Funnel. You can clone a whole page
to a whole other account.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
That's correct. So. Yeah,
that would definitely help. I guess maybe I wasn't seeing that. I probably should dive into it.
Bottom right hand corner of when you're on a funnel and you're looking at your pages.
Yeah.
There's an individual page in the bottom right hand corner. Don't actually
clone funnel step.
Yep.
Yeah. So a funnel step is a page essentially.
Oh yeah. Look at this. Okay. All right. So yeah. So clone the funnel step and then bang it right over to the location and the funnel. Okay. Damn. Again, thank you. And
problem solved. But yeah,
well,
I think
at least it's a great step in the right direction because essentially what I've been doing is to help beat the system is pull them all from my ClickFunnels account. You know what I mean? Like really well-designed pages that I have, I suck them in from ClickFunnels and then just take them from there, and then I can manipulate them from there. You know, that's kind of.
Yeah, exactly. So we just want to keep making that better as far as
Yeah.
like a library of templates that you can just grab.
Got it. Yeah, that would be good. But for right now, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that's not too far away from what I understand. Like I said, the navigation element was the first big piece of that whole thing. And so I think the full website builder should be rolling out pretty soon. I don't have exact timing, but I know it's not far away. What else? Who else has a question? Tell me, if you guys did work with auto dealerships, who's got some success stories? What about campaigns that you guys, I mean, does that database reactivation, do you think that would ring true with your clients?
So for me, I am currently working with a buy here, pay here. Well, let me rewind a little bit. I am brand new at marketing. I've owned a video production company for about 13 years. Wanted to bring my clients more value and give them a better ROI for the assets that we create.
Mm-hmm. Makes total sense.
So at the beginning of the year, my company decided to start utilizing digital marketing as another avenue for additional income for us, but as well to provide more value to our clients. That being said, my first client, which is very new, 3 weeks old, as a matter of fact, and I'm picking up a check today for their first month. I gave them a free trial.
Nice.
But essentially what I did was I pitched them. They brought me in for video production, and I ended up pitching them on marketing. And in the first 2 weeks, with a $280 ad spend, I got them 110 customer opportunities into their messenger. The reason that I'm here on HighLevel today is because of the issue that they had, which was paying attention to those leads that were coming into their chat box. Mm-hmm. As an administrator on their page, I soon realized that they were not communicating with their customers, which was mind-boggling to me. I actually had to go in and meet with the owner and say, guys, you're missing out on some awesome opportunities right here. Because I got people to click on the ad. So that's why I'm here in checking out HighLevel and what it can do. So I'm like literally in the beginning stages of setting up my account to the point where I have zero idea what I'm doing, but I understand how this could benefit my customers, my clients moving forward, especially in the car dealership world. One of the hangups that I did have, however, and this may be a little bit off topic, but I pitched another dealer. It wasn't a buy here, pay here place. It was just a used car dealership, privately owned. It's not a branded, GM or Volkswagen or what have you type of
Mm-hmm.
dealership. But they were, and this is probably me just being an amateur, but they were having a hard time really understanding how this would be beneficial to them. I'm very green, but I'm just wondering if anybody has anything to offer up to that, and how I can maybe explain to them how this could work. They didn't really seem like they wanted to do any sort of incentives. As a matter of fact, when I said, hey, how about doing like a $500 off down payment sort of thing? Well, we can't do things like that because, when you squeeze the balloon on this side, it inflates on this side. And, we basically would be lying to our customers. We would just have to tack on another $500 onto their loan or whatever. So right. I'm just wondering what you guys might do to convince, if anybody is in the auto dealer industry here, to show the value in a program like this, and how it can really start to, drill down and get more clients for them.
Yeah, for sure. So 2 things that popped to my mind, and then feel free to jump in if somebody heard that and has some insight. The first one that I think HighLevel benefits every business right off the bat is you need to make sure that they understand the difference between a lead and a conversion, right? So a lead, I can get you all day long. Facebook lead ads, no problem, low cost, but that doesn't mean anything if they don't convert, right? If they don't book an appointment to come to the showroom or whatever. And so working leads is hard. And if you don't work them, they don't convert. And so with HighLevel, you can automate that through, emails, text, the voicemail drops, all this kind of stuff to convert a really good percentage of them automatically. So it's like, hey, if I can generate you 200 leads, how you said you just generated a couple hundred, right?
110 in 2 weeks.
Look, I can drop 110 name, email, phone numbers into somebody's lap, or I can set up a system where 50 of them will automatically book a day and time to come into the showroom. No other system is going to do that for you. And then on top of that, and this is interesting, and this is, I think, an opportunity, and it's a challenge for everybody, is not only can I do that, but whoever is responsible for handling the leads that don't convert automatically, that start asking questions, I can give you insights on that. You can listen to the calls that they're making. You can see how long it took them to reply to the text message that came in or the Facebook message that came in, so that you know what your staff is doing or not doing. And that's really valuable too. And I think, you'll get to a place where sometimes you have hard conversations where it's like, hey, this person that you are paying to handle these leads is really dropping the ball. Like, you should consider getting a new person or transferring that responsibility to somebody else. And when you get into those kind of conversations, businesses are like, wow, it's not just about this guy getting me leads. This guy's helping me change my business for the better. You know what I mean? Because he has data. He's showing me, what's wrong with my business and a way to improve. And so that's applicable to any business, I think. And the other thing that I was going to say is, not all potential clients are right for you. So if they can't come up with something that's appealing, that sounds like an offer, then guess what? Maybe,
go to the next guy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's only so much you can do. And I would always say, look, this system works 100% of the time. It's just, will the numbers work for your business? I can guarantee you leads are going to come in. I can guarantee you some of them are going to take the next step. I can't guarantee you what the cost of that is going to be. And a large part of the variable is going to be your offer and the creative that I can come up with from your business.
Awesome.
So yeah, those are the two sort of main variables. That's the way that I would pitch it, is, can I get good photos, video from you? Or can I get a great offer?
Well, I even include the footage and the photography customized for their dealership or whoever the client would be. That's part of my package, and I can offer that because I've got the means to do so. So
you might even be able to find success because you can create great media with just leveraging their selling points of, like, are they family owned? Have they been around longer than anybody else? What are the guarantees, the warranties look like? Just play up that kind of stuff. And that great media, and I'm being,
rewind a little bit, play up to that kind of stuff. What? It cut out.
Oh, sorry. So, like, are they family owned? Have they been in business longer than their competitors? What do the warranties look like? Is there any guarantees? What advantages do they, like USPs, what are their unique selling propositions that they have that their competitors don't? So if they can't give an offer, let's play up their strengths as much as we can.
Got it. It's funny that you say that, because the text message dialogue that I had going on with this guy when I was trying to pitch him was like, hey, you want an offer? How about a free tank and gas with every car purchase? I'm like, dude, that's already expected. Like, if I buy a car,
I better be able to drive it off the lot.
You better put gas in it, for crying out loud. I mean, what's it cost? $30 to $50 depending on the car that you get. But it was funny. He's like, there's your offer. I'm like, yeah, this might not be a good fit for you if that's
the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Hey, Toby, really quick. I work with chiropractors, and I have 2 chiropractors, and all I'm doing right now for them is running Facebook and Google reviews through HighLevel. That's it. Like, that's something you could add for any dealership. So easy to do through HighLevel.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, like I said, guys, I am probably the infant child of this conversation right here. I literally have not even done anything. As a matter of fact, I just signed up a couple of days ago, and I am at the welcome to HighLevel step 3, putting in my Twilio credentials.
Nice.
I haven't even gotten into the system yet. So when you guys are talking to me about what all this platform can do, I'm just like, wow, how do I do that? How do I get in, So
well, Toby, this is a
great
great
idea.
this is a great sort of talking point. And so the snapshot, once you get everything set up, the snapshot that we just went through, just those reactivation campaigns alone, you might find success for that customer. If they have a database that they can export of all the name, email, phone numbers of people that have inquired in the past, let's say year or maybe a little longer, load them up. You load them into that campaign with a bulk request, a text goes out and it's like, hey, Chase, you still looking? We've got 10 of whatever that we got to get rid of.
Okay.
Give them a reason that makes sense because we need to make room for the new models. Makes sense to me. Shoot back a yes and let's get you scheduled for a showroom visit. And I mean, that requires no ad spend, no offer. And I know that a lot of people in our community have huge success in other industries with that same model.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've done that for chiropractors a couple of times, and it's easy money for them, and it costs no money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you guys recommend for someone like me offering like a week or 2-week trial? Because I'm at the beginning stages of this, I really don't have many case studies other than the one I just told you initially. And I'm definitely willing to keep my account active with HighLevel, as I personally can see the extreme value, not only for my clients, but also my business as well.
Mm-hmm.
But with all that being said, is that something that you guys did when you were first starting out, to prove yourself, because walking in and saying, hey, I charge $2,500 a month for this. Can I have a check now? And I'll show you. Like, it doesn't click with me yet. Maybe it's a confidence thing.
It can be a heated topic in the industry, doing free work. But
yeah,
my stance has always been, if you're in a position personally where you can afford to do free work for a little bit to get your first couple of case studies, 100%, man.
Okay, awesome.
Because once you show it to them once that it worked, that one campaign, it's like, I can do this for you every month. I could do this for you once a quarter. And with HighLevel, when you train them how to manage the leads through the pipeline and they start using the two-way text conversation and they're replying to people, they're not going to want to get off the platform. So have a price just to use HighLevel under your label. And we recommend between $99 and $199 a month. So even if you don't sell them on marketing, you could probably sell them on sticking with the platform.
Just sticking with HighLevel and pay for it.
Just by running that first campaign for them for free so that they get addicted to it,
That's awesome.
I just wanted to chip in real quickly, Toby, and man, you made my day when you said that about confidence. And literally you ask about a lot of people in the industry, they're gonna be like, oh, don't work for free. But I'm gonna tell you something. You're gonna build such confidence that when you speak to somebody, the sale is just going to become much easier. I went from dealing with just small business owners, told them being face-to-face and landed a country along with cities, multiple countries. And it's only because of that confidence level. And if I didn't do all this stuff for free and then all the other stuff, I mean, obviously build, but there's so many new people that just don't take the time to actually get results. Whether you get results for yourself, a fake company like I did fake ones in the beginning because I was so scared, or a real company, like grab that confidence. Because then when you sit there and be like, look, here's what I can do. And it's going to change your world if you're just getting started. So
man, let me
I
tell
would
you,
say that I push you to, for nothing else than more than your confidence level. Yeah,
absolutely. I can really see the value in that. Just, starting out, I've been pitching my mom. I've even pitched my dog and my kids, honestly, because I'm like,
nice.
I'm just trying to practice like talking the game. You know what I mean? Because that's really what it boils down to. I've got my first BNI meeting tomorrow. Again, I'm in a really good spot because, I've already kind of got an established company and I've got some trust, some relationships that are already developed as far as trust is concerned, where I can set up a meeting anytime with one of my current clients. But I've got my first BNI tomorrow and of course, we brought in for video production, and I'm going to flip the script on them and talk a little bit about my intro, what we can do for them.
And I would add, don't be afraid to be honest. Like, even when had, the agency that I used to run, when we would add a new service that we had never done before, we'd be like, hey, this is a new service that we're adding. You're going to be the first client we test it on. There might be some bumps along the way, but look, we're doing it for you for like a fraction of what we're going to charge as soon as we hammer out all the details. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
People appreciate that. So, I mean, don't be afraid don't feel like you have to fake it till you make it or whatever.
Yeah.
But whatever it takes to get those first few case studies, I think that's really what's going to change your business, is to be able to show what you've done.
And the more you pitch, the better you get at it, and I think that's really something that anybody who's new like me can really take away from this. Just over the past, 3 weeks that I've been doing this, I've developed almost a certain way to present it to people. Mm-hmm. And I've just been talking to everyone about it. So it's getting better every day, but I'm still new, so I'm trying.
Nice, man. Well, be sure to let us know how it goes. And once you start seeing success, let us know so we can showcase that.
Will do, man. I appreciate it.
I actually think we're going to start a new show. So I don't know if you guys have seen the spotlight session interviews I've been doing, but I think we're going to start a new one that's called like Journey to 10K, where we have people on who are just starting, talking about the first few successes that they have to hit that first milestone.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm not there yet. I would definitely love to be part of that show because I'm on my journey. I'm at like 3,000 right now, but I just started my real agency like January 6th. And last year I was doing the free thing with the chiropractor for like 5 months. And I really got to learn the niche. And from that, I got a lot of confidence. And now, at the beginning of the year, I told the guy I was doing it for free. I'm like, okay, you may not be my avatar, not because you don't want to pay, just because you want to be so involved in marketing. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I'm like, I have this package, I'm going to do this. I said, but for you, I said, if you want to do it, I'll do it for $500. He was like, boom. And now he's just Sam carded every day, every month, $500. So
fantastic.
It's really, it's cool. And, like even the low hanging fruit, like Facebook reviews, Google reviews, that's stuff that people like, they pay a fortune for. Like my chiropractor, he was paying $800 a month to Yelp. Just to Yelp.
That I've been watching a lot of videos about how to actually use Yelp as a tool to find new clients, because people are on Yelp and they are spending money on Yelp. And as a matter of fact, as a video production company, I was one of the subcontractors of Yelp videos that they would sell for $1,000 or $2,000, and I would get paid $250 to go shoot a commercial for somebody's Yelp page. So nice. I know that it's an insane amount of ripoff. These people are paying for that. It's just crazy. And to be able to offer something like this, I don't even know about the Google reviews, what you guys are talking about. I have no clue about that. I didn't know you could even do that. That's amazing.
Oh, it's pretty seamless.
Wow. I got to look into that more, I guess.
Yeah, I'll give you a little drop of a tip. I've built my business on getting small business owners from directories. So like you say, like Yelp and all the different stuff. Well, 6 years ago, I went and built my own, and I just kept building them across the country. The reason I joined today is because now I'm diving into the auto, because I built my own sell your car. So like if you want to see it, you could see like used cars near me, Providence. Like I'm putting one right in because I'm in Rhode Island at the moment. So used cars near me, which people search is a really highly searched term. And so now I have my own essentially directory where these people are just signing up. And so the auto industry, these guys are much easier to approach to get them to spend $100 on a banner and then upsell them. So might be a different idea. Like I do it with the Kairos too in Providence. Yeah.
It's a good industry because most of them have databases, right? Most of them will have a huge database that you can reactivate, and that's a really easy win. And then going back to the Yelp, using Yelp to prospect, we're working on right now a tool that's going to be like the Yelp scanner and like an SEO scanner. If you've used these different types of products, where basically you could get a business's website, throw it into the scanner, and it'll spit out a report. So it's like, hey, you have no listings. Okay, that's the Yelp piece. So I'm going to sell you high-level listings. Your SEO score is a C. That's pretty terrible. So let's get you on the SEO package, and we offer that now in services. Your page speed is horrible, so we need to rebuild your website. So it's going to spit out a report of all these different grades that you could it makes cold outreach so much easier, because it's like,
yeah,
hey,
you got all kinds of
I don't know
stuff.
if you know this, but you have F's in every category. We should talk.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so that'll be cool. So it'll be a combination of those types of tools, all in one. And I know the team's working on it now. Again, I don't know when that's going to roll out, but it'll be in the near future.
Going to be a paid edition?
No, I think it's just going to be a tool that we give you guys to help you sell services, hopefully through HighLevel if we can help, or, if you're outsourcing or whatever, or if you do them in-house. It's just so much easier when you can say, hey, I don't know if you know this, but it takes 18 seconds for your homepage to load.
I do it right now. Like I've been using it through one of your competitors. Like it produces the report like this, and it's just so awesome. Yeah, but you got to pay for it. So.
Yeah. Don't quote me on that. I don't think it'll be paid unless there's some sort of, cost that we're incurring to run those reports. But I know that it's in the near future, it'll be rolling out.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, that you brought up reviews. That's another good point. It's another aspect to sell. It's built into HighLevel. It gets them addicted to the system. Yeah. So it's like, hey, when somebody's bought a car, hit the green button, type in their name, and it'll send them a text or send them an email where they just have to click straight. It opens straight up into the Google review pane. They just hit 5 stars, type the review, hit enter.
You are kidding.
Yeah, no, it's great.
That's great.
I kid you not, sir.
Yeah. Well, just having HighLevel available to clients, just the few conversations that I've had with it, just having that as a asset or like a solution to their problem in and of itself is worth a retainer client. Why would anybody? Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah, there's pretty much. I have never encountered a business that couldn't benefit from what HighLevel can do to improve their processes in the way that they, especially when we're talking generating new leads and converting them into bookings.
Absolutely.
If it's a business that a claim book model works, I just have never seen anything better.
Wow.
Hey, Chase, can I ask you another question, just really quick, off topic?
Fire away.
Stuff. So with the chiropractors that I'm working with, I have a couple of them that have Chiro Touch as their CRM. And I'm not sure if there's a way to integrate Chiro Touch into HighLevel where they don't have to double book everything.
Yeah, so I have this conversation all the time.
Okay.
This is a problem that everybody has in every industry, because most of your clients and your potential clients are going to be using legacy software that was built 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Okay.
And they're pretty much all walled gardens. Now, the best of them have built Zaps already. So if you're familiar with Zapier, basically the best of them will build a Zapier app where you can then start sending data, syncing data, things like that. Most of them don't, right? So Chiro Touch, I doubt that they have a Zap.
Yeah.
The second best scenario is if the system can sync with a Google Calendar.
Right.
So some of them can, and if they can do that, well, then it's the next best thing, right? Because you sync your HighLevel calendar to the same Google Calendar, and HighLevel will go two-way. And so that's the next question. Okay, your Chiro Touch, you're telling me it syncs with Google Calendar. Does it do two-way sync? Because if not, then it's not going to be truly, the calendars aren't going to match completely. The easiest way to approach a scenario, which is the route that I used to take, is we're talking about two separate systems. This system that I'm bringing you is about new business. I'm going to generate and close new leads, and this system is what does it. When a lead has become qualified, I'm going to hand it to somebody on your team, and it's going to say, hey, I want this day and time. Most of the time, odds are that will be available. If it's not, have Jeff or Susan, reach back out and say, hey, sorry, we're double booked on that time. Here are 2 other slots. Do either of these work for you? And most of the pushback will come from, Susan or whoever the person is that has to handle that.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. You don't want to let them talk. You want to talk to the owner about how it's going to make them more money, because they will tell the staff, yes, you're now going to have to do one extra step.
Yes.
But it's going to make us all more money, which means I can pay your salary. Maybe you're going to get a bonus, whatever. But when you get them in the mindset of this is a separate system and it's all about new money for you,
right,
the conversation kind of goes away.
Yeah, and I pivoted that way because I did find that, like, when I was learning last year what holdups there are with this system and chiropractors, that was the big thing. And luckily I was learning and I was doing it free, and I also own a videography company, so I was doing a bunch of branding stuff for him and his community. So like, he's super thrilled with everything. And it was just, that was like, okay, how do I talk to new prospects? Because that was kind of holding me back. So I've kind of shifted to just like getting in with low-hanging fruit, the reviews, the reactivation campaign, and now I do posting from chiropractors at like $1.99. I post twice a day on their page, and they're with some really cool content, and they're loving it. So that way,
and this sort of ties into another conversation I had recently, which is you want to position yourself as not the person who's responsible for the success or not. You're somebody who knows what they're doing and is going to show them the way and provide them the tools. And so you're going to end up in situations where maybe the person they're assigning these leads to is really busy doing 10 other things and they're not getting to the leads. You'll be able to have that data and say, hey, doc, we should have a conversation about, you either need to hire somebody to do this specifically because you're a really high volume office, or you need to take some things off of Susan's plate because she just can't get to these fast enough and it's costing you money.
right.
So then it's never like your leads suck. It's like, oh, okay, there's a problem in my business. You're pointing it out to me and you have ideas for how I can help fix it. And that's a very different, scenario to be in. And so just be mindful of that as you approach the relationships, because there were times in the past when we'd be stuck in that, like, oh my gosh, like, do we suck? Do these leads suck? Like, you know what I mean? And it's totally not that. It's you're there to help them. And HighLevel can help you get more insight into,
I'm almost really not even running Facebook ads for anybody anymore. Like, I'm doing so many other little things that take stuff off their plate and still using HighLevel that it's like, I don't have to worry if these are converting. I don't have to, like, so when
That's
I do get
fantastic.
somebody like that, I'm going to hire your guys' team for $4.99 a month. Here you go. I don't even want to do it or think about it, to be honest with you.
That's a great point, because when you get to that point, you have a really sticky client, because it's not make or break. Did those 10 leads close? It's, hey, we're finding so much value in this platform. Why would we go anywhere? You know what I mean? Why would we stop paying your bill?
Exactly. I'm trying to build as much retention with everybody as I can. So even like my one chiropractor, he's in Arkansas and I'm in California, and I just met him through a mutual friend, and I'm doing like all this stuff for him. My highest paying client. I'm going to give him that listing option that you guys have.
Nice.
I'm just going to give it to him, say here, and that's just another like huge value that he'll never want, because he's paying me $1,600 a month.
Yeah, I mean, the $30 cost to you guys is huge, because Yext is valuable, but when you're coming in new, it's expensive, right? Because it's like it's like $100 an account or something in the beginning. But so now that you guys can leverage our group discount, it only costs you $30. It's really like a no-brainer.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm actually building his website. So as soon as I get that built, I'm going through HighLevel. I'm going to put that up there. So,
well, George, I don't know if you're in Slack, but if you are, shoot me a message or email me at chase@gohighlevel.com, and we can chat about this new show idea.
Okay.
Because if you'd be up for it, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're at the 40-minute mark. I want to make sure that if there are other questions out there, we get to them.
I have a question, but mine's kind of more business model sense. Everybody's niche. And I've been doing this for 5 to 10 years, and just the last couple of years, my most success. I've hit the the 10K mark. But I've been doing it as a generalist. You know, I have everything from marriage therapist to mortgage, HVAC, and I've been trying to get myself to niche down. But it's really tough to come from a generalist like that to niche down. Any suggestions on how to do that? Or I know it's probably mostly mindset, but it's like, you know, I'm in BNI too, and I'm just already out there as a generalist. My brand's a generalist.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to revert back going niche.
It definitely is. I mean, and especially when you start thinking like, oh man, should I make a separate website that makes sense for the niche? And now am I managing 2 email addresses and all this kind of stuff? I wouldn't overthink that part. So at our old agency, we did that. We launched a sister brand and it ended up not mattering. Like we never switched our emails. Nobody ever questioned it. I think it's important to get to the plateau of 10K so that you're sort of stable and you feel more comfortable saying no to potential client that's not in the niche that you want to go in. I think that's the biggest, you need to get to a point where you're ready to say no. You commit to say, okay, you know what? I've had clients in all these different industries. I know which ones went really well. I know my product fits that market really well. And I'm confident I want to go after that niche. You have to be ready for the next one who comes in, who's a plumber or whatever, that you're going to say, no, you know, I focus on whatever it is that you want to niche into. Before you do that though, I would make a joint venture. Find someone who specializes in other niches so that when a plumber comes through or whatever, you can recommend them and get a cut of that, like a commission kickback or whatever. So you're not really saying no and missing out on revenue altogether. But at some point, if you want a niche, you have to start saying no. And you have to know that the benefits outweigh the upfront, you know, loss in revenue.
So do they? That's kind of, because if you're saying if you want a niche, I mean, a lot of people say yes, but do you think it's really a necessity?
The majority of the people will tell you yes, and I tend to agree with them. However, I do think you don't have to go into a niche. You can operate multiple niches if they all make sense, right? Because like claim booking is the way I like to think of it, right? Any industry or niche that's a claim book, to me, is the same thing. So if I were to start a new agency, in my mind, I would take people in any niche that's claim book, because to me, it's all the same. It's all the same high-level snapshot. It's all the same campaign. It's just different pictures, images, and offers. You know what I mean? So you could approach it like that. And then, but again, if you don't fit the clean book model, you wouldn't be right for me, because I don't want to reinvent the wheel. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'll tell you this right now, it definitely, at our old agency, it slowed our growth that we didn't niche sooner, because every time you take somebody outside of that system you've already built, that's easy for you to replicate, the mental time, the strategy that you have to do to say, okay, what is this client's needs? How are we going to create success for them? What do we need to build? What's the campaign going to look like? That just takes time, and it takes energy, and it slows you down. And if you can get to the point where you're just repeating the same thing over and over again, you know, that's the niche effect, and that's how you scale. I mean, it's just like a chain restaurant, right? It's like, you know, what do you want? Number 1 or number 2? Oh, I want, like, you know, a hoagie with French fries in it. Like, we don't serve that. You could go, you know, somewhere down the street if you want that, but that's not what we do. So I highly recommend it, but I don't think you have to, you know, literally pick one niche. I think you can think of it as like your package. What industries does your package that you know you like to operate, that you know you'll generate success, what industries does that make sense for? And I would focus on them and say no to things that don't.
Yeah, especially with the whole rush packs now, because now those are all available. So it's like, it really is kind of turnkey. I can do any of those. Makes it even easier to kind of not stay as niche.
Yeah. Well, the other benefit is when you go into a niche, you can start to brand yourself as the authority in that niche.
Right.
And so it's way easier if you know you're just going to be working with chiropractors to start making videos of like, I'm the Chiro King, or, you know what I mean? And when you're having conversations with them, you just know the industry much deeper, right? You know the terms of all the, you know, the people that are coming into the chiro, like their conditions and, you know, the details of the treatments and all that kind of stuff. And that will win you accounts, right? You're talking to somebody like, oh, wow, this guy knows like
Right.
what goes into the serum that gets injected into their knee or whatever. But if you're not, if that's not you, if you don't have aspirations to like brand yourself as the king of that niche or whatever, then, you might not have to, but it definitely makes it easier.
Yeah, if I would have, 5-10 years ago started off as a niche, yeah, that would have been so much easier, and yeah, I would have gained my momentum a whole lot faster. So I've had to do it the hard way. But now with my momentum, it's kind of like putting on the brakes in my mind of kind of going, wait a minute, I don't serve all you guys anymore. And so, I mean, I can see the potential, and I know like there's a lot of other ones out there, Josh Nelson and everybody that says, you'll grow that much quicker if you jump into a niche. And I can see that from a beginning agency. It's just at my level, I'm just not sure I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will still catapult me a little bit faster. It's just
it also goes back to the conversation, and I just recorded a spotlight session today with one of their main points was you need to have a plan. Where do you want to go? How big do you want to be, right? And so if you want to be a $5 million agency, I would say niche as fast as you can, because once you niche, you can build your product, you can hire VAs, you can train them to do the same thing over and over again. If you don't niche, that's impossible, because one person who's been trained to do one thing isn't going to be able to think outside the box when people from different industries come in and your model doesn't make sense for them. But maybe that's not you, right? So like if you're at 10K a month and your goal is to get to 20K, and then you're like, I'm good and I can operate all that business myself, great. Maybe you don't need to niche because you're talented enough to adapt to different industries and whatnot. But I do think that, for people who have aspirations to go big, niching helps you because you can staff up easier. You can train people to do one thing or one piece of the thing, and it becomes a factory.
Hey, Don, I have maybe just one suggestion, and you can take this for what it is, but it might be a good idea if you do want to niche to continue to have your clients that you do have now, but kind of do an inventory of who your clients are. Like maybe you have 3 or 4 chiros, right? Or maybe you have 5 dentists and 2 chiros or something. I don't know, whatever your situation is, just kind of take the one that you do the most business with and then go after that niche if that's something that you are really confident with. I wouldn't necessarily leave my other clients that have built you up to this point. I mean, let that system run. But in my opinion, it just logically makes sense to kind of take like, unless you're all over the place, maybe, if you have 10 clients, maybe you have 10 different niches right there. I don't know what your situation is, but if you have 2, 3, 4 of the same niche, maybe concentrate on that and then start, going to other prospects within that niche, and because you've got the data to kind of show what you can do.
Yeah, I've been kind of looking at that. Which ones are more profitable? Which ones I just feel like I enjoy the most working with? Which ones I have the quantity? Yeah, so I've been looking at all that, and I've narrowed it down to a couple, but it's just that hard putting the stop of not bringing anybody else on and just focusing on, especially when, like in Facebook, I've got like 3,000 friends and they're all kinds of businesses, and I get DMs every day from them all, and it's kind of like, do I start posting, hey, I only focus on this, and then start changing that whole?
Well, it's hard to say no to money. I mean, even I've been running I've been running a business for 13 years, and I still get phone calls. Hey, can you do a $750 TV commercial? And I'm like, well, I could probably make $750 in a couple hours. Okay. I mean, I'd still do that. I still struggle with the power of no, but every time that I've said no to something else shows up that I'm like, okay.
Yeah. The other way to think of it is moving forward with your marketing efforts, right? When you niche, then it becomes much easier to create content because it's all going to be about the same industry, and it just sort of builds. Whereas when you're servicing all sorts of people, you can kind of get overwhelmed as what to talk about or where to start. But yeah, I mean, I've seen people have success in both routes. But I would say our community members who are, broken the $1 million mark and above, are usually focused on a niche or 2 niches that are kind of closely related.
So for right
Awesome
now,
stuff.
you wouldn't say like change my website. Just kind of leave it as a general brand, how it is right now, and just kind of
Yeah. So one piece of advice I would give you is if you want to start going in a direction, keep everything that you have the same, but just add a tab that says like our specialties or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you can add pages for the niches you want to go for and sort of build your own rush packs, right? Put together a package and just brand it as something for that niche. And then when people come to your site, they're like, oh, cool. Looks like he works with a lot of people. I see logos from all sorts of businesses on here, but he specializes in this. And that's sort of a way to sort of slowly steer into a niche.
That's a great idea. That's what I was looking for. Perfect. Thanks, Chase.
Cool.
Hey,
All right,
Chase, are you going to be at Traffic and Conversion next month?
I am not. I'm actually going to be working remotely from Edinburgh next week.
Yeah.
And so that killed my travel plans for that month. But hopefully,
I have a booth there every year, so that's.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, hopefully in the, later in the year, I'll get to do some traveling. And I know that we're going to have a HighLevel event towards the end of the year. That's going to be really exciting. So hopefully some of you guys can make it to that. All right, we've got about 5 minutes until we hit the hour. Anybody else have any questions they've been sitting on? I don't see any in chat.
I'm just curious, this is going to be posted on the YouTube page?
Yeah, if you don't follow the YouTube channel, be sure to do that so you don't miss any updates. And then I don't know if you saw last Friday, but now we'll do every Friday you should get an email that's like the weekly roundup that'll have all the new video links that came out that week.
Yeah, those are real helpful.
Any new snapshots or anything.
I signed up 3 days ago, so I did not see that.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, yeah, if you follow the YouTube channel, you'll see all the new videos pop up, but then you should also start getting emails on Fridays that have links to everything new that came out, including links to these recordings.
Awesome.
Hey, Chase. Got questions.
What up, brother? How are you?
I'm good. I got a ton of questions, technical questions, while working the system. See if it's possible or not.
Okay. I don't have any of my backup from the team, like dev team on the call, but I'll give you my best.
Well, maybe someone else might know it as well. Is there a way to track who did what in the history of a contact? Right? So if you go to the contact, there's a history down there, but it's always saying like 0 for me. So I can't tell if somebody does something or they move it or they added a note.
I don't think it'll tell you like the user that did something. I think it more tracks like what happened. Like they entered campaign A, you know what I mean, to see sort of where they've been. They got tagged, I think it'll tell you. But that might be something that becomes a little more built out in the new analytics rollout, but I don't know.
Robin mentioned something that for the HIPAA stuff that might be added later on, that they were having to do a lot more tracking of what people actually do inside of HighLevel, and that comes out later.
Okay.
No, but that would be cool.
It would. Next one. Any idea if you can? You know how you can do do a campaign? You can do manual SMS, manual calls. When can we do a manual email? So why we could just pick the template and hit
that will come with this second rollout of. So Smart List is going to come out. I hope this week it's still on track. Phase 1 won't have it. Phase 2, which will be a week or two later, the first update to it, you'll be able to basically go to one contact or, make a list and then send out a blast to them. But I don't know if we have a plan to build like a power emailer.
Well, it's kind of like we send somebody into a campaign, and part of that campaign, because some people just can't handle the automation, so we make them go in there and click "Let's go," like I'm ready, whatever it says, and then they'll have to manually hit to the next step. The only one we can't do is emails, so that one has to be automatic.
Is that one on the check the ideas list? If that's not on there, throw it on there.
Okay, we'll do that. Next one, so I got 4 total. So the next one on the main opportunities page, on the upper right-hand corner, there's a little green plus new symbol or button. Add a new opportunity. Is there a way that I can be able to include like their address, their city, their state? Because right there, just adding a new opportunity, but then you have to go into that opportunity to fill in the address. So it's like a 2-step instead of you could just do it all from one screen and hit OK.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you throw it on the idea board, but
Okay.
I know right now it is 2-step, like you said.
People are okay. I just have clients that are complaining like, oh, I have to, click it and then I have to go find it and reopen it. It slows them down. So
Yeah.
I told them I'd ask. And then the last thing is on the funnel. So I've created my own funnel. It's all great. It's just like ClickFunnels, right? You can create products. Is there any way you can purchase more than one product at a time? Because how I see it, you can only click one product and you have to pay for it, and you got to do it again. Is there a way I can click 2?
Yeah, then there's the upsell. No, I think right now the way that it works with the Stripe integration, you can add upsells. So like they hit the thank you page and it's like, do you want to add on, any of
Like
these?
the bump?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But it's the first and then the bumps, like you're saying.
Yeah.
There's no like shopping cart where you could, add a bunch of things into the cart yet. No,
Okay.
no cart yet.
All right. So
Sorry, I know
thank you
it's
for
sort of
that.
an 0 for 4, but
I knew it was. So
but the beautiful thing is if you get it on the ideas board and other people agree and it goes to the top, it gets built. So
yes, vote for me, everyone.
all right, cool. We are hitting the hour. Any last questions?
I just want to say thanks for all the info, and I'm really excited to get going, man. It's super, super cool stuff.
Yeah, Toby, we're happy to have you in the community. You're at the biggest hurdle, which is like the Twilio and the Mailgun setup.
Yeah.
So don't let that discourage you. If you have any trouble, let us know and we'll help you. We'll walk you through it. But once you get over that hurdle, it'll get exciting.
How does that work as far as billing? That's not included in the high level price, right?
No, and it's beautiful that it's not, because you're going to pay wholesale to Twilio and to Mailgun. So we're talking like fractions of a penny, as opposed to like when you use the service like ActiveCampaign or CallRail, they put a huge margin on the actual, and then they use Twilio or Mailgun. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
So it's bring your own creds basically. So you're going to create accounts with both of them, and Twilio's cool because it's like you can set it on a recharge model. So like if it dips below $20, it'll just recharge another 20 or 40 on your card. And then Mailgun it kind of sucks. They downgraded their free plan. So you need to go on their base plan pretty much if you want to be able to get the replies into HighLevel. So that's going to be, I think it's $35 a month. But the nice thing is once you start building up your client base and you're sending lots of emails, the cost is actually cheaper per email than it is on the, when it was on the pay-as-you-go plan.
Gotcha.
So yeah, both of them, you'll set up your own accounts. They'll charge you directly. And then you just basically, if you go through the onboarding tutorial, it'll show you where to get your API credentials from each of those accounts.
Yeah, I'm on step 3 right now with the Twilio credentials. So that's my next step.
Cool. All right. Well, let us know if you hit any hiccups or anything.
Will do.
All right, everybody.
All right, guys.
We're going to sign off here.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you next week, same time, hopefully.
All right.
Till then, have an awesome week.
See you guys. Bye.
Thanks, Chase.